Now, and
All right, welcome everybody to the Central Region Town Hall. Thank you for coming. We'll do a roll call
Member Pratt,
here.
Member Schwenger,
here.
Member Gonzalez,
Here.
and Member Pearson, I am here.
All right. Okay, so our item number 2 is election of a chair, vice chair, and secretary for this calendar year. So do I have any nominations?
Yes, I will move that we elect Member Schwenger as chair, Member Pratt as vice chair, and Member Gonzalez as secretary for calendar year 2026.
Anybody have any objections or want to second that?
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And item number 3, the consent agenda has our meeting minutes for November 10th and December 8th. Need an approval unless there's any corrections. Anybody want to make a motion?
I move that we approve.
All right.
I'll second that.
All right. All those in favor? Okay. And then the item number 4 is our calendar for 2026 with the meeting dates. Everybody had a chance to review that? Anybody need any corrections? Okay, then so moved. Do we need to vote on that? Okay, then make a motion. Yeah, calendar for this 2026.
I'll move approval
Okay,
because I made it.
all right. Second.
Approve, second.
Okay, all those in favor? All right. Okay, item number 5, acceptance of an update from Vice Chair Austin Pratt regarding the D3 MAC Alliance.
Yeah, that's ongoing. We actually have a Zoom meeting set up for this Wednesday to make action on some of those items that we were concerned about in the Alliance. Outside of that, not much of an update for that group currently.
Do you have any items just to bring up that are under discussion?
I believe, I mean, it's not quite related to the Alliance itself, but in the district, one of my compatriots on that body, I think they're an East Region member, they've recently submitted, I believe it's a proposal plan for Middle Creek Restoration Alliance. There will be new trails, hopefully, coming in to that area. I don't know the exact timeline or if that's awaiting rather, but that is something that was recently presented to County BOS, and I think it was positively received. Outside of that, I can't say much that I can think of now.
Okay, thank you. All right, item number 6, we have Lars Ewing here for Public Works. If you wouldn't mind giving us an update. I don't know if Supervisor Crandall passed on some of those concerns.
Yeah, is this where I should be? Yeah, that's fine. I think it's, turn it on for me if you would. No, right in the middle, you'll see that. There you go. Thank you.
I'll stand over here so I don't have anyone on behind me. Lars Ewing, Public Services Director and Interim Public Works Director for Lake County. Supervisor Crandall did provide me a few topics, but I think we can maybe just go through those maybe as questions if you don't mind, so I can not make any assumptions about what the issues are with the topic. Rather, I can hear them directly and do my best to answer. So. I don't know if, EJ, do you have those? I mean, I have them off the top of my head, but I'm sure certain people brought them up. I can do it right now if you like, EJ. That's not a problem. Okay. One of the topics, well, I talked to Mr. Wright here, or Mr. Robbins here. I was talking to a different Mr. Wright, and he came to mind. Victoria drainage was an area of concern. So the Public Works Department has responsibility for county roads. Water Resources Department has the Victoria drainage that would be in their area of responsibility. So I don't have an update with respect to the clearing of Victoria drainage other than in the past, I think, you know, the road crew probably went in and helped out. And that's something that is certainly a potential here, but it's also from a bygone era when the Water Resources Department and the Public Works Department were one. The Water Resources was a division of Public Works, and so there was a lot of that coordination going on, and we want to get back to good coordination, but I want to start with a conversation with the Water Resources Director, Pawan, and just to see what his needs are and if there's an opportunity for the road crew to help. So that's the other part of that might be any crossing of a road where Victoria Drainage does cross, right? Near, for example, forgive me, it's through the Victoria Road. I can't recall the name of the road, but it's right near Country Club, right?
Victoria Street, it's right
Victoria
over
Street,
here.
thank you. There's a box culvert that's there that typically gets, sediment filled in, and the road crew, as a part of their responsibilities, they will handle that to clear it out. I think it's every couple of years, maybe even once a year that they go in. But that's that one constrained location. The road crews, not just their responsibility, but their authority. They don't have access back there. It's not a part of the county road system. So I will carry that back and have a conversation with the Water Resources Director. All right. One of the other topics was pothole requests. Maybe sparse pothole patching being done in the area. Before coming here, I had a conversation with Danny Wright, which is the Wright that I was referring to earlier. He's the area road foreman, and I talked also to the county road superintendent about, hey, are we doing anything different? What's going on? And they said that we're not doing anything different. For potholes, typically it's on a reactionary basis. If our road crew happens to see it when they're doing their patrols, when they're doing work, they'll make a note, they'll come back and they'll do their best to pothole patch. But without what we call constructive notice, it's hard to know that there's a pothole on a road. There's a couple hundred miles of road in the district here. So what I would suggest is the best avenue for that is to put us on notice that there is a pothole on road, fill in the blank. Right now, we're be honest, it seems like we're a little bit outdated. The way to do that is with the phone call, 707-263-2341, and I'll say that again here, 707-263-2341. That is the main line for Lake County Public Works. That, rather than a post on Facebook, a post on Facebook is not a service request. So putting in a service request for a pothole is your best avenue for getting those potholes patched. Without people know, we are reliant on the members of the public letting us know about where the potholes are. We'll go out and take care of them. They're happy to do that. But that's going to be your best resource. Another topic related to roads that was brought up was, oh goodness, and I'm drawing a blank, EJ, on the other one.
The Foothill Bridge.
The Foothill Bridge, thank you. Yeah, Foothill Bridge. Right now, the Public Works Department does not have a bridge foreman. We haven't for a while, and we're doing our best to fill that. But we just don't have the bridge experience on staff right now. Now we are building that up. We also have engineers that are working on, we have a design for that bridge. We're not talking about the Golden Gate Bridge here, but we also want to make sure that we do it right. So I don't have an update on, a specific schedule, but we are developing a short span bridge list around the county, and that is, to be honest, whenever we have a bridge closed, that is priority number one. So it's on my radar, and we will be getting on it. I don't have a schedule for you, though.
Is the holdup trying to hire somebody to fill that foreman position?
I mean, that's certainly a holdup. Yeah, absolutely. But more than anything, it's right. Ensuring that we do it right. I mean, I've put my eyes on it. I think we have a solution, and when we get staff filled in, then we'll be getting in and doing it.
Okay, thank you. I have a question about the pothole request. Is there criteria for the size of the pothole or anything? I mean, because obviously if you've driven down our avenues in Foothill, there's many, many potholes. So I don't know what is an appropriate request, is it by street? Is it, what would be the preferred method for submitting those work requests?
Yeah.
Because we have hundreds.
Yeah, by street, and I will also follow up, and if we can get it in the minutes, I'll follow up with an email address that I believe that you can submit. That way you can include pictures, because what might be, a crack to someone else is a pothole to others, and in our world, it's if it's going into what's called the sub base or the base, if the asphalt is no longer seen and what you're seeing is essentially looks like dirt, that to me would be the equivalent of a pothole, and I know that means that there's a lot out there. But the notification of that by street, and if again, I'll follow up with the email, but a picture's worth 1,000 words. Street, and then a crossroad, right? All right, Victoria and Country Club, for example, somewhere around there. That's enough. The road crew can certainly run with it from there.
Okay, thank you. And I think there was one other concern about Victoria Street that maybe the Robins can speak to, where you turn from Country Club onto Victoria. Where, I think Leah had mentioned something about being concerned about where it's sagging, like it's collecting the water on Victoria.
Oh, yeah. That's where there's a valley gutter across there, and it's falling apart. Because the drainage is not good. We call it Victoria Lake. And so when it rains, you have about a 20-foot wide swath of water that you have to go through. And it's eating the asphalt up, so
Yeah, it's getting deeper.
All right, I appreciate that, and I'll carry that back.
Okay, if that's something that needs to be put in for a service request, I guess
No,
somebody could
I'll
do.
carry that one back. That's a little bit different than a pothole, right? We're talking about drainage issues. That's also a little bit more challenging to address.
they have to pull the valley gutter out and raise it up.
Sure.
The street has been repaved many times through the years.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll have a conversation with Danny Wright about that. Yeah.
All right, does anybody else have any questions for Lars?
Sure.
I was just gonna, this also goes public services, downloading an app.
Oh,
That was
the,
my next thing. Actually, I was curious if
Okay, sure.
what is it, the new floating docks?
Yeah.
That's progress.
We're pulling the permits, and we've got and getting the environmental clearance down. We have planning to do it this year. That's certainly the expectation. I mean, the plans are ready. We're just pulling the permits. That's the short answer.
Cool.
I seen them too, tried them, shared them, you shared them, tried to ask them what it was. It makes me happy because it's gonna be,
Yeah.
and so that's how I know it is being forward, those kind of tries.
Cool.
so it has to go through CEQA or?
It does,
all
yeah,
that?
CEQA and a variety of regulatory permits. Yeah. And another limiting factor is the time of year when we can do the pile driving, just for hitch and potentially other species.
Thank you. I think there's a couple other questions.
So, this is on? Yeah, the question is, I know, well, let me just give context first. So I know that I've had really good experiences when I call Public Works and let them know there's an issue, and usually it gets taken care of right away. And I know my neighbors have had good experiences as well. And I know you guys are incredibly busy and are doing really good work. Do you actually keep a metric of like how many calls you get in for, pothole repair and, this washed out, that washed out, so that the public can understand what it takes to, to run that operation and all the stuff you do besides I know you paved I think it was 5,000 million miles last year, which is an accomplishment of itself. There's a lot of stuff that other people don't realize. And I think it's important to know that, if you call and say, I got a pothole, this is what you can expect. This is how many potholes we deal with. This is how many calls we deal with. I think that's a good metric. Anyways, that was just a suggestion.
And I appreciate that. And I You know, yes, to answer your question, we have the data in our service request system. Like, we can pull up, you know, how many potholes we patched, how much asphalt we put down, how many calls we received by road, by district. We can track that down. But I'll say, I don't want that to be an answer when someone calls in and says, hey, we have the need for this pothole to be patched. I don't want the answer to be, well, we'll get to it when we can get to it. Look at all these calls that we get, and look how overwhelmed we are. Right? That needs to be something that we use to show what we can do and what we do, but not an excuse to not go out and do it. So I don't think that's what you meant, but absolutely, yeah. And I will offer that. Goodness, just last month at the Board of Supervisors has an annual governance workshop, which I think this year was at the end of January, and included in that presentation are metrics. This was my first year giving that presentation with the Public Works Department, and each year there are metrics that are presented. I didn't change any of the metrics this year as the interim director. I wasn't prepared to do that, but there's certainly an opportunity to show the public, okay, how many potholes we patched, or better yet, how much material went into potholes, how much time was spent there, and just compare it over previous years. So yeah, it's helpful, but it needs to be helpful so that we can improve, not so that we have a basis to not do it. So. I appreciate that. We to reference back to how much, the millions of miles, I wish, of road that we paved last year. We not paved, but chip sealed. We chip sealed about 38 miles last year, which is a good accomplishment, and the road crew deserves all the credit for that. And we hope to continue that each year in, year out. But that only shows a small piece of the work that they do. So you're right there. That deserves to be called out, because that's the lion's share of the work that they do. The chip seal is, yes, there's preparation work that they do, significant, and then there's the actual chip seal work that is a few weeks out of the year. But the rest of the year they're out there doing their darndest to clear trees and pothole patch, put in do whatever they can to keep the road safe. Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Charlie, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm with the senior center here, and quite a while ago before you, we'd asked about putting a sign on 20 and 9th for our thrift store, since it sits up here, and we were told then that we needed to show you what we wanted to put up to get it okayed from you. So would I just bring, because we've got it now, what we want to put up, so do I just need to bring it to Public Works, or?
Yeah, we're talking about a roadside sign?
Yeah, just a sign.
Like, by the park.
Sure, okay. Yeah.
There's already some other small signs up neighborhood watch, and it's 1 foot tall by 3 foot long, and says thrift store.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you my card. You can contact me, and then we'll get you going in the right direction, because it's. Okay. Yep. Well, we can. Yeah, that's that. I'll put you in touch with the right folks. That's an easy solution. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
Oh, just the one question about the cutoff. Is there any timeline for getting that redone?
Yeah, that is in this year. That's in the 2026 work plan for chip seal.
So likely after the winter weather.
After the winter weather, you'll see prep work going, and then it'll be a pavement preservation project in the summer. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right, you bet.
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Item number 7, our Caltrans contact didn't confirm the meeting, but I do have an email that was sent to C.R.T.H, so I'll just read it so you guys can hear. This is in regards to the Highway 20 project that's going to happen here in Lucerne. He says, "My name is Izzy Canopa, and I'm the project manager for the Caltrans Complete Streets project in Lucerne. I'm reaching out as part of our community engagement process and was hoping to share some project information with the C.R.T.H group. Project description. This project is in Lake County on State Route 20 from milepost marker 16.74 to 18.02 within the limits of the town of Lucerne. This project was initiated as part of the vision for the State Route 202953 corridor, which is to shift inter-regional traffic to the south shore of Clear Lake and make the north shore a destination route. This will be achieved by constructing roadway improvements along the south shore and traffic calming measures such as this project on the north shore. Non-motorized mobility will be improved by incorporating various complete streets elements to connect Lucerne's waterfront, parks, elementary school, and downtown area, including Class 4 separated bikeways, which I'm not quite sure what that is, as far as Class 4 goes, sidewalks, transit stop improvements, rectangular rapid flashing beacons. Additionally, a median island designed to calm traffic will be constructed on the western entrance to Lucerne. The project is currently in the project approval and environmental document phase, and we expect to go to construction in the summer of 2031. We would be happy to provide a presentation at one of your regular meetings if that's something you'd be interested in. Feel free to reach out with any questions or concerns. I do have his contact information if anybody's interested. That's all I have for that. Right. Item number 8, update from Supervisor Crandall.
Now it is. All right. I wanted to start out with something because now that Amanda's on, I have been seeing her because she's also works here and went to the Area Agency on Aging meeting, which I'm a part of, and did a really good job explaining some things to help with the organization. But it's also one of those programs that basically like a JPA almost like. Mendocino and Lake counties are the two counties that share the funding for senior centers and meals and whatnot. And so there was a couple things going on, and Amanda came and explained because she came to the board meeting and actually did a really good job accentuating the need for help with all the senior centers, including and mainly, ideally, Lucerne, and how it's starting to lose, a lot of opportunities for funding and whatnot. So when she came and asked, it's really important, I think, that anybody that has issues when it comes to senior centers or need help, that was really good. I mean, yes, and so it was unfortunate that they thought you were saying it was something else, but it wasn't. And I when I heard it, I was like, she's just asking for more help. And so, yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to highlight, because in the Area Agency and Aging meeting, you explained that, and the funding went through. So we're on a path there. It doesn't solve the problem, but it shows that there's some activity there. So those meetings are usually scheduled for the second Thursday, but we've been moving it around lately. I'm the chair of that group. So just wanted to highlight that. Lars mentioned something, and I wanted to just expound on it. When they had the 27th, they had the workshop for all of the directors to come and give a synopsis of what happened before and after, and what they plan to do. And so those are key ideal meetings for constituents to come to or watch or tune into, and give some questions ahead of time for us to go ahead and ask them. Or I know that the couple supervisors, they actually didn't ask and are asking now, and which was really cool, because it's a long day, and so sometimes we can get off into some rabbit holes in some of those discussions, which is good, but sometimes we need to keep the consistency going. So it was really informative. I think in hearing from a couple of other constituents and people and past supervisors, they didn't really do this before. So the fact that we're doing these in-depth meetings and discussions really helps, and it gives an idea for the constituents to see what's really going on and what all of the work's been accomplished and whatnot. So that is predated before the budget, which would have been this week, but I would have been out of town, but I decided not to go to DC with the tribe, so I'm here. But the budget got pushed back. I think it's in March now, so that's a good time to be able to match the numbers with, this isn't the actual budget, it's just the mid-year budget before we go back into the next part of it in the summer. But it's a good opportunity to kind of match that with whatever's being said in those right there. Let me see, you heard Lars talk about the harbor. Oh yeah, I don't know I think last time we talked, we might have been going down south to Anaheim. There was a farm, Lake County, or not Lake County, it was actually the Farm Bureaus Association or something like that, that Secretary Rollins had been a guest speaker at. And so they asked Supervisor C.R.T.H and myself to go down and meet with them, considering the Potter Valley project, because of the situation with the dam. And we've been meeting with them quite sporadically and trying to get support for the dam removal and how that looks, and reassessing it, saving water, saving the whole situation for us at the county. And so that meeting was really promising. She sat with us, took notes. There was Lake Mendocino, Sonoma people there, and then I forgot what county it was. It was down in like central California, one of those areas, and they had been going through it with a dam and a lake down there or something. So they really empathized and had some good things to say. But as it went around the room, Supervisor C.R.T.H and myself were kind of we've been doing this so long, we're just seasoned, in discussing everything. And then they really did give us a kudos for continuing and starting the fight, because no one else really was fighting this. When you go back to when I first started as a supervisor in 2019, Jim Steele was, but he kind of was like fighting with them constantly, so he kind of checked out, and I remember when I jumped in, he's like, you're going to see, he wanted me to carry the torch the same way he was, but I tried to be kind of like, nice about it, subtle, and it ended up like within 3 or 4 months, I felt the way he did. So he was on target. I should have just went forward with that. But either way, each time we were just like the gaslighted little brother in the room. Every time we would say, well, what about this? And they would, knock it down. So we're at a point now where people are actually not only empathizing with us, but taking the same position, or they have friends in good places to support, and that's how we got to where we're at. You've probably seen some of the news media go out, not only the articles, but some of the actual videos. And Bruno got to stand on stage. They had a press hearing after our meeting in Anaheim, and they pulled Bruno up like Forrest Gump, and he got to stand behind them, and it was pretty good. And so yeah, it was the first time I have ever in my life flew somewhere down in the morning and then flew back in the afternoon. I've never done that. We kind of felt bad about it. We were trying to kind of dodge it because we felt bad that this is taxpayer dollars paying for us to go down, but considering it was Potter Valley project, we knew it was important. They had invited us to go. So they sent us an invite, which really helped. So we went, and we know it really made a difference, because they're talking about meeting with us again, so we just got to make that connection. And whether it be Zoom or even in person, if they can come out, we'd really like to get them out to the actual lake, but we'll see how that goes. So that's what the Anaheim trip was about. It was really good. We took the opportunity and did really good with it. So that's where we're at with that. So let me see what else. Okay. I don't know if you guys seen, there was something about EGX, and EGX is a company that's trying to do some what do they call it? Geothermal. I was thinking biothermal. I don't know.
Is that the newest thing? I just happened upon seeing this in my social media feed today about, it's in Cobb, and their idea is, I don't know why, but in the post it was mentioned hydrogen, but nothing in the 2 cards, the actual posters, mentioned hydrogen at all. So I didn't think it was, but I was considered like, oh, that's not the same as geothermal,
No,
but it must be geothermal, and somebody was confused.
There has been people reaching out about hydrogen, though, from RCRC. There's a group that met me out there and wants to come and talk to us about that. But that's another thing. Not
Hydrogen
even in,
storage, yeah.
it hasn't even got to Lake County as of yet, the same way that this EGX did. This EGX has been meeting with people.
Mhm.
They're working with special districts because they're looking at a spot over there in Clear Lake where the the sewer facility is. And so so yeah, this item on the agenda, it was grossly interpreted wrong for good reason. It probably should have waited to come to the board, but the staff was just asking for more time because usually in any setting you can only use 8 hours of staff's time. So for example, I can't just go to Lars and spend like a whole day, 8-hour day with him, or I can spend an 8-hour day with him, but then I can't bug him after that. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. You can't take more time from what they have to do for your project, and if you do, or your help, you have to get approval from the whole board. So that's basically what that was. It was them asking if they can get staff's time for special districts because they already spent a lot of time on it, and then community development or whoever else. But it ended up not going that way. We felt that they can do their own studies and do their own things. But that just an example of that is just letting you all know like that will happen at times where people kind of put the cart before the horse. They had met with me back in November, and the first thing I told them was, you got to speak to the town hall, East Region Town Hall, Clear Lake Oaks, and you need to make sure they know everything or where you're going to go with it, because anybody can pull and put a permit in. A lot of our constituents seem to think you can just block it like it's a goal. You know, like it's not how it works. Anybody can put in a permit. It's just they have to get through the process, if that makes sense. So if they can't get through the process, then that's on them. But
So you're still talking about this geothermal?
Yes,
So it's in somewhere outside of Clear Lake Oaks?
yeah, it's the Plouffe Ranch area, and then also the substation for the the sewer. And so that's just giving them the insight. That's exactly what I told them was, you need to speak to town halls, because they talked about other areas. They didn't say Lucerne, but, it is a range. It could be a place where they, so wanting to let you know ahead of time, I don't think they're going to, but if they do, this is where we start getting our ducks in a row with questions and whatnot. But I would always send them to the town hall first, and that's what I told them. You speak to the town hall, and then you have to also deal with the tribes because you're going into the land, and that one's near Elam. So that's the important thing for me is what the town halls, what the people, what they usually, if they can get through that, then that means that it might go forward. We'll see. But anyhow, just a prime example bringing that up is just so you all know, like, it's gotten out of hand in different town halls about projects. Not out of hand where it's a good project or it's a bad project, but the way that people go about it. So I'm trying to get someone on the right track immediately. As you guys remember, probably a few years ago with the whole situation with Scotts Valley and the castle, a lot of that got really just, up here before, going through any other discussions or anything like that, which that showed an example of something getting killed way before, but it wasn't a county sale or a county deal. That was a private deal. So I just bring those things up because we've been dealing with a lot of people want to do projects and thinking that the projects come to the town hall. There's another gentleman at another town hall trying to pitch to the town hall, like to approve his project. Well, that doesn't, you go to the town hall to learn about what it may be and give your concerns, and that's that. You still go to the planning department and everything else. So I don't know, I'm just giving that insight. I don't really have anything listed on here more. We do have an animal control director. Did I tell you that? We hired someone, so I know we were trying to last time, and she finally passed all the stuff. So,
And since you mentioned the castle, a while back I heard something about Swim wanting to purchase the castle. Do you know anything
I
about
just
that?
know there's so many people that want that thing, and I think it's cursed. That's just me.
So you don't know of any active, anybody active interest in it?
There's always interest, always somebody saying something to me about it. I want it, I'm like, okay, well, I only talk to the owner. When he asks me something, I deal with him, because each time I go other ways, it just becomes
I just didn't know if there was any pending sale or pending deal or anything
Yeah.
that the county was aware of.
Yeah, they always have like 3 or 4 permits listed on it, and they're not even the owners. So there's always something going on. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Supervisor Crandall?
Thomas?
Yeah, he's got it.
Just on the Potter Valley Dam, have we looked at any of the candidates running for governor and try to
Oh,
see if they can help out? Maybe, I know the election's coming up in June, right? We vote for primaries for governor. I was wondering if any of them, you talked to any of them, and
not the governor candidates yet, but we did talk to McGuire, who's running for Congress over in that area. So we did run it by him. He's already been our, representative as it is, but it's going to be a little different now that he's going to, if he wins and goes to the congressional side. So we gave him that insight. He took it in because we actually haven't really talked to him in a while about it. Since he became pro temp, we had a hard time kind of, was really busy. But I remember Supervisor C.R.T.H and myself would speak with him back in 1920 timeframe, and he was supportive, but he back then said, this thing is not, there's nothing really going to tangibly move on this until at least 15 years. That's what he said in 19. And I was like, well, we don't want anything to move. And he goes, I understand that. I'm just telling you, either way, it's not, that's his mindset. So I think that was the stance he took back then, and it was just like, it's going to take a while, and now he's taken in the whole aspect of it. But I do remember in 2020 when the NOI, if you guys remember, the NOI was when they were trying to have Round Valley, Cal-Trout, Humboldt, Mendocino Inland Water, and I think it was Humboldt County. Did I say Humboldt County? Round Valley Indian Reservations. They were going to try to take the dam by them. They would be the foster of that dam. They would take it over. Notice of intent to take it over. And so what happened was that didn't go through. They got denied by FERC. And so at that point, McGuire had asked what had happened, and we had a really big meeting on Zoom. And I really laid it on them that they didn't let us have any, say. They didn't give us a chance to sit at the table. I think I cursed. I cursed as well. I was really mad back then. And I learned it from him. If you've met him, he just cusses anyhow. That's all he does. But I was so frustrated. And so I know we did a reset, and then that's when they applied for some water grant, the Department of Water Resources of the state. And they got funding to do the Russian River Water Forum. If you remember hearing that, that's when that happened. And after that, we ended up getting our funding from Department of Water Resources for the SLR study that we have, and that's been really helpful for us when we submitted our comments to FERC. So yeah, I don't know. I probably rambled a lot on that. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That answered your question, Thomas?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I get that on the microphone, but yeah, I mean, these people are running for election. I mean, let's hear them out, and get them on our side and see what their viewpoint is. McGuire, he's going to be running hard, and maybe we can get him over here to do one of our meetings.
He probably would. Lamalfa actually, God rest his soul, he passed, but he was actually already jumping on board. He was going to be down at that meeting in Anaheim with us. So, and I had worked with Lamalfa before because in the tribe, we have tribal Tanith, which goes into Butte County. So he's always been very helpful. He would have been very helpful on this as well. So they probably would have been vying for who's going to help us more, had everything went the other way. But yeah, so, and Cecilia Aguilar Curry actually did help us with the funding for state water resources as well. But I mean, I think she terms out pretty soon, so yeah.
All right. Thank you. Is there any questions on Zoom? I should have asked. Nobody raised their hands. Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, thank you. Next is public comment. Citizen has up to 3 minutes to provide input on any item not appearing on the agenda. These items can often be further discussed on a future agenda if this Earth Council agrees to add it for a future item. Does anybody have any public comment?
Yeah, it looks like Betsy Carr.
Okay.
We go ahead and tell her.
Yeah, Betsy, go ahead.
I'd like to know if you can hear me all right.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you. First of all, I just have to point out that the audio is very, very bad, not because of the echo and not because of people not using microphones, but there's a technical issue that seems to happen. Lots and lots of the speech was just blanked out. It was very choppy. So as a consequence, I don't really know what EJ said, all of the things he was reporting on. I do want to add 3 comments, please. And the first one is an appeal for the Town Hall Board of Directors to understand how the Central Region Town Hall could be more helpful to the senior center by working on the local area plan. For example, the general plan and area plan drafts will be released in February, March, or April by CDD. And we had several issues defined by the local area plan advisory committee related to the senior center. It is extremely vital that we develop some sort of a support system. I know that EJ tries really hard to figure out how to get help, but we need to do something much more substantive, and the town hall could create a committee to work with various organizations and help senior centers. So that's one. About the geothermal proposal, the group, the representative who came to the East Region Town Hall, they suggested locating the project on the 400 acres belonging to the Southeast Wastewater Treatment Plant, which is county land, but they would be accessing the geothermal resources that were partially developed on the other side of Bald Mountain and in the area of the Clear Lake Oaks county water system and their sewer system. So the general manager of the district talked about how they would have to address the potential seismic and other impacts to the public utility system there. It's not going to be simple, so be prepared for a lot of dialogue. The third thing is that this issue with the technical, I can hear myself kind of cutting in and out. The issue with the technical sound has to be addressed before July 1st, when the new Brown Act requirements come into effect. So EJ, I'm just letting you know. We need to do something, and maybe the Bruno and Thomas and you can get together and figure that out for us. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Anybody else on there? Thomas?
No?
No?
You can address her the latency issue, it's Zoom. I mean, I can see Zoom, it was skittish, and, things slow down, and you're gonna lose audio, and it's just technology.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see if there's any improvements. Maybe Supervisor Crandall can look into that.
Oh, not going to work. Anyway, hello, CR.T.H, Margot Kambara. I'm going to piggyback on what Betsy said about the local area plan and general plan updates. According to Community Development Director Turner, drafts of the updated general plan and local area plans are expected this month or next. And the general plan and local area plans advisory committee members will see the drafts when the public does. The public comment period is not expected to be extensive, probably 30 days. This month, Central Region residents and local area plan advisory committee members may want to prepare final recommendations on the general plan and your local area plan for community development and the consultant. The CERT board may want to submit its final general plan and local area plan recommendations or endorsement letter on the local area plan advisory committee's recommendations. Scotts Valley Community Advisory Council's work group is reviewing its local area plan and drafting final recommendations on general plan elements and local area plan issues. The link to your area plan is on the Lake County 2050 website. And Thomas, I'm going to hold up the business card so people can see the QR code and the URL. And let me give you the navigation to that, where you can find the local area plan. Click on Documents at the top of the web page, then click on Background Documents, then click on Existing Lake County Local Area Plans, and then look for Shoreline Communities Area Plan. And I have one other topic that I'd like for your consideration, and that is to perhaps on your next agenda, add the senior center as a topic so we can learn more about how we can help the senior center and what the challenges are. Thank you. And then I'm going to hold up the card for the URL.
Thank you. Should she put it in front of the camera, Thomas? Is that?
Back? Yes? Thank you.
Thank you. Is there, do you have an extra card that you could leave so people could get that QR code?
Definitely.
All right, thank you. All right, any other public comments?
Hi, Thomas Aceves, chairperson for the Western Region Town Hall, but I'm also on a pedestrian bicycle advisory committee. We meet once a month, and this pertains to the Caltrans person that was supposed to be here. What was the person you were going to contacted?
Izzy Canopa?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Izzy. However, District 1 of Caltrans is a collective of counties, including Lake, Mendocino, Humboldt, Del Norte. Is that right? The 2031 target's been going on for a while. There was a presentation about a couple years ago, a year and a half ago at the Worth. You can certainly go back and probably, if that's on PEG TV still, it might be available to look at. And it's a great thing. One thing that's coming up too is still they're going to, starting in March, going out for bid, or they call advertising, is the more rapid beacons, and then those channelizers. They're going to put in the middle lanes to try to stop people from passing. That should be delivering this summer. Hopefully that's on track. The lighting for Nice is going to be improved. That's 2028. We had a fatality there just recently, as many of you probably know. And I'm not sure the circumstances. It was at night. I don't know if the lighting would have helped. I'm not sure what happened. It was across from Dollar General. So that's coming in 28. These long calendar, years, 31 is always the shot for complete streets, which is the body that does it, which we talk about monthly. In the meetings, and we also talked about how much are we really advising Caltrans and what, as a body, we were trying, how effective we are. But, my wife actually asked me about why don't we lower the speed limit, and I'm going, well, we did talk to people about that recently or a few years ago. I forget the person we talked to, and I told her that based on what they said is the only way to get traffic to lower their speeds, especially through Nice, because I think Nice is the worst part. I think you're better through Lucerne. because I bicycle right through here, is Nice is calming the traffic is by narrowing the lanes like they've done in Ukiah and other cities and counties, and doing furniture or, you know, bumpers or whatever they call it to lower that speed. That's why you lower the speeds. But Lucerne, I know people speed through here, and I was riding here Sunday, got late coming over here. But that's the only way, but lowering, but I did see they put some signs up on the stretch going to Nice. It says no passing. So I'm thinking, well, they don't think signs lowering speed are going to work. Why do they think those are going to work? So yeah, you know what I mean? So it doesn't, it kind of counters that argument. But yeah, so I think we need to push up that date or get it earlier. I'm not sure about how we're going to do that to get that funding for Complete Streets to come sooner to get that project done, because it's needed because of the flow of traffic. So anyway, that's my 2 cents about it. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comment? All right, last agenda item is announcements. Anybody have any announcements? No?
I have an announcement.
All right.
Hi, I'm Amanda Gonzalez. I just would like to say that Lucerne Senior Center does an open mic night every third Saturday of the month, and we'll have ours on February 21st if anybody's interested. We sell plates of dinner, and we have tons of live music. It's really nice to just come and watch, and all the proceeds go to keeping our doors open, and your presence is just greatly appreciated. It's a really fun time if anybody's interested.
And there's no admission fee.
Yeah, free to the public.
When's the next one?
February 21st, that's the third Saturday of every month.
And it starts at what time?
It starts at 4 and it goes until 9 o'clock.
All right, any other announcements? All right. Motion to adjourn?
Not needed.
All right, meeting's adjourned at 6:54. Thank you, everyone.